Heyo, it's Rico and or Foster White, Foster the Person X, Foster23, really whatever you want to call me, Dab, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I guess it's been, good question, 5 years since I've posted on this channel, or maybe more, but that's alright, we move on, we continue. I have another YouTube channel that I'm going to link in the description. That's usually my main channel, but I'm going to keep more 4Souls / gaming content on this channel. So let's just get straight into the video. I asked on the 4Souls subreddit, does anyone want 4Souls content / 4Souls gameplay? And people were like, no, not really to the gameplay. Some people want gameplay, and I think I'm gonna upload gameplay because I really love playing the game. But a lot of people want discussion talk, and I love it. I'm here for it, and I'm the guy for you. I have my 4Souls first edition of the game. Oh my god, look how icy that is. Come on. Thumbnail. 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 But yeah, I posted on the 4Souls subreddit. A lot of people wanted 4Souls content. I'm here for it. Someone had noted that there was little to no 4Souls content on YouTube. Completely agreed. I've watched all of Alexia's videos. I've watched all Northernland videos. I've watched all Tears of Grace videos. There's nothing out there anymore. There's nothing. It's bare bones. It's dry as a bone now. So I'm here to be everyone's savior, especially myself though, because I love talking about 4Souls. It's my favorite card game that I've ever played in my entire life. So let's just get right into the video. So the reason I am starting out with a tier list is because I thought before we get into more nitty-gritty side of 4Souls, like how to win the game as different characters, best characters for when, what to do in these situations, blah blah blah, stuff like that. I thought to myself, I feel like you guys should know more about my mindset to the game, and for that I think there's nothing better than to start out with a character tier list so you guys know whether I'm crazy or whether I know what I'm talking about. So let's really get into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy this journey of 4Souls content that I will be making. Alright, so we are on Tier Maker right now. Welcome to the official 4Souls ranking for me of all the characters. To start, I will say I have a lot of controversial takes, alright? And I know I'm just gonna get that out of the way from the get-go, but I will make sure to explain myself as best as I can because I've played this game a lot, faced a lot of people. I'm pretty firm on a lot of these too. I know there's one in specific that you guys are gonna be like, you're fucking insane, but I will go to bat for this character. So let's just go off and start with the first character on the list here, which is Guppy. Guppy's eternal item is Infestation, which is tap and you can loot 2 and then discard 1, allowing you to loot 2 at the start of your turn instead of looting 1. I'm going to start out by putting Guppy in S tier. I think Guppy is arguably one of the best characters in the game, obviously, with it being an S. Also, I'm gonna be putting them all roughly in the ranks, and then after I'm gonna be putting them in specific locations to name the worst character of all 4Souls and then the best character of all 4Souls. All right, next up we have Isaac. I'm gonna start out by putting Isaac in B tier right now. His eternal item is the D6 active item, tap to force any player to re-roll their most recent dice roll. I think that's great in a lot of situations, though I think it's simple. But again, I mean, it can save you in a pinch for sure. Next up we have the Lost. And the Lost is bad. I've seen the Lost only win 1 game before, and I know that because I have a stat sheet that I keep of every game that I've ever played. So that's gonna be coming in handy for when a lot of people are not gonna like one of the rankings. No, I mean it's D tier. What am I even saying? Lost is for sure D tier. Well, and again, we'll readjust. So next up we have Bumbo. Bumbo is straight S tier. Bumbo is easily one of the best characters in the game. I absolutely hate getting him, but in the end, every single time I absolutely love having him. So Bumbo is for sure S tier for me. Sorry, the Lost's eternal item is Holy Mantle, which is if you're about to die, you can tap to active item, tap to make yourself not die. He only has 1 HP, but he comes with a soul, so you only need 3 souls to win the game, which is arguably great, but you have 1 HP, so anytime you get hit once, you're kind of screwed over. Then we have Bumbo. Bumbo's eternal item is Bag of Trash. It is a cash or a shop type eternal item. So pay 4 cents, deal damage to a player or monster. loot one or play an additional loot card, everyone always underestimates him. You just gotta hoard your sense and you can pretty much kill nearly any monster if you hoard your sense. Alright, so next up we have Kain, and Kain is a very dynamic character actually. So Kain's eternal item is Sleight of Hand, and you get to look at the top 3 cards of any deck and put them back in any order. And I think a lot of people think of Kain as like, oh, I'm just gonna do the top 3 cards of the loot deck when I start my turn. And I think you should do that in the beginning, like rounds and stuff like that. But towards the later rounds, obviously, I think it becomes a lot better of a character once you have a good hand, and you start to use it on either the treasure deck or the monster deck. And once Requiem comes out, the room deck I think is going to be very important to Kain as well. So I'm going to keep him in B for now. So next up we have the Keeper. Eternal item is the wooden nickel, I'm pretty sure, and it's or choose a character, roll, that player gains that amount of sense. I think Keeper is honestly right with Guppy in a way, because I think Guppy is a shoo-in for Soul of Gluttony, and I think the Keeper is a shoo-in for Soul of Greed. Except if freaking Dark Judas is on the board. I'm gonna keep him at A. Next up we have Azazel. Azazel's eternal item is Lord of the Pit, which is if you can cancel attack at any point, and then you can make an additional attack or something along the lines of that. I think Azazel is actually really good. And very underestimated. I know people hate Azazel. I think Azazel, a lot of people, I actually don't even understand why a lot of people don't like him. I think he's very good because if you're about to die, you can tap Lord of the Pit to make it so you don't die, which means you don't lose any of your treasure or anything like that. And so let's say you're fighting the Fallen, right? He's a 4 HP, 5+ with 2 damage, right? And so you're like, freaking screw it, why not? Why not try? Roll, you get a 2. You would die, you're like, actually no, I'm gonna tap in response to the roll so I don't die, right? You not only that, but you don't take any damage. And so in doing that, you're able to then, if like there's a mulligan on the board or something like that, you can be like, all right, I'm not gonna try to go for the Fallen again, I'm just gonna go for mulligan, 3+, 1 HP, 1 damage. 3 cents, expand the monster deck, blah, blah, blah. Next up, we have Maggie. Maggie, I'm going to put C tier. I know a lot of people hate Maggie. Maggie really is disliked in the Four Souls community. I don't think she's the best character by any means. She's the only character in C right now. Her active item is Yarmahart. You can heal a player or monster for 1. A way that I think people could be playing Maggie that they aren't playing Maggie is not, if you're able to not play it for yourself, to play it instead for other people, but bargaining, or bartering, I should say. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of bartering when it comes to Maggie, just because, and I know you may be thinking you can do that with so many different characters, but I think with Maggie in specific, it's a lot better because it's like, oh, you could not die right now, and dying really is one of the worst parts of the game, because even though you're not losing in the game in general, it's like a little loss. So if you can prevent that little loss to that person's ego or confidence or whatever, I think they'd pay a lot of money for that. So that being said though, she is in C. She is in the C tier. Okay, so next up we have Apollyon. He has the Void. Void is it's a tappable, and it's choose one. You can either discard a shop item or a monster or an active monster, or you can discard your hand or however many loot cards that you want and then gain that many loot cards. I'm gonna put Apollyon in C tier. I've never seen him win a game actually, which is interesting. So arguably he should be in D, but I do know a lot of Four Souls relies on chance and RNG, but I'm gonna put him at honestly the end of it's just interesting because his eternal item seems pretty useful. It's the goat head in combination with kind of flush, but I'm gonna put him above Maggie actually. Next up, little controversial take. I'm excited to hear what you guys think of this. We have Judas. He has a Book of Belial, which is it's an active item. Add or subtract 1 from a dice roll. I think Judas is S tier. Judas is an incredible character. I think Judas is one that you can really screw over people, or you can really help people, and same with yourself. It's really clutch that you're able to do it with non-attack rolls and attack rolls. I think that's one of the biggest parts. Like if you get a Pandora's box, you can help it with that. I think Blank Rune is, S tier. I think Judas, when you have blank room or anyone has blank room, the loot card, it's S tier. It's so much fun to be able to play him, and it's just so dynamic. I think he's S. Then we got Samson. Samson, we have Lust or Bloody Lust question mark for his eternal item, tappable, have someone gain a damage or a monster gain a damage for the end of turn. I know it got reworked in the second edition of the game. So this is interesting because on my stat sheet, Samson has won 1 game out of, I think, 12. But it's so interesting because it seems like such a good not eternal item, but ability of just gaining 1 damage. That being said, I think he's C. I think he's C tier. I don't really see him being that good because I've barely seen anyone win with him. And I actually don't even know the Four Soul community's thoughts on Samson, so tell me what you guys think of him in the comments, because I'm kind of lost on him. I think his ability's really great, or it seems really great, but I've seen him win 1 time. Next up we have Eve, and here we are with my probably most controversial take. I think Eve is A tier, period. I said it, and I will stand by it. Eve slander, she's terrible, blah, blah, blah. No, she's not terrible, she's great. I used to consider her one of the worst Four Souls characters, but period, she's not. I think that, so her eternal item is, it's the curse. Put the discarded card back on top of whatever deck it was on. And it's really great. It seems terrible, kind of, but I win with her constantly. It's almost like Bumbo, like I hate getting her, but when I get her, I'm like, good game. So yeah, period. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about that. So next up we have Lilith, which is Incubus, which is you can look at a player's hand, steal 1, and then give them 1 of yours, and then other option is loot 1 and discard 1, I think, or something like that. Lilith, I think, is S tier. I think it's such a great ability to just look at someone's hand, period, but also being able to steal their best card. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. So next up we have Blue Baby. Blue Baby's ability is tappable Forever Alone, which is steal a scent from a player, look at the top card of a loot deck, or loot 1 and discard 1. I think that originally I would have had him in D tier, but one of my friends, Evan, that I play with, he's been getting Blue Baby a lot recently, or when we did play. We're taking a break right now because game gets a little hectic and hurts people's feelings. He's been getting a lot of Blue Baby lately, and even though he hates it, and I kind of love that he gets it, and kind of love that he hates it, he's been playing the shit out of Blue Baby. I think that he's actually really good. Not really good, he's not A or S, but he's good, I think. Next up we have Lazarus. Lazarus is freaking S tier. I don't know, I'm gonna put him in A for now. When you die, you can gain 1 treasure at the end of your whatever. I think it's so much fun to play with. It adds a great element to the game, which is that you are kind of fine with dying at times. Next up we have Bone Lord, as Northern Land would call him, or the Forgotten. Forgotten's ability is the Bone, I think, right? That's his eternal item, and it's a shop plus tappable. Sorry. Pay a counter, add +1 to a dice roll, pay 2 counters, deal a damage, pay 3. It's a soul. You gotta put him in S tier. I mean, he's just so great. Also, his character icon is just so freaking cute, bro. Look at him, bro. He's so adorable. Next up we have Eden. I'm just gonna put Eden in B tier because, and Eden's eternal is you look at the top 3 cards of the treasure deck, pick 1 of them, and that's your eternal item. I think 50-50 chance you're getting a good one or a bad one here. So I think he's straight B tier. Next up we have Whore of Babylon. Gimpy, as you get hit, you can choose to loot 1, discard 1, pay 2 cents, or get 2 cents, or get 2 damage till the end of turn, which is just freaking great. I'm putting Whore of Babylon in A tier. I think it's great to be able to get 3 damage on a roll, or however many rolls after you get hit. Super fun item, very dynamic. And obviously we have Dark Judas. Oh, not D tier. Okay, I can't put him out. Every time someone rolls a 6, you're able to pay 3 cents, or get 3 cents, and every time someone dies, you loot 2. He's arguably the best in the game. I'm gonna have to look this over one more time and give you my final thoughts. But yeah, I think for sure he is one of the best, period. So I'll be right back and I will show you guys what I've done. Alright, I put them in order and I will be reading off my official listings from worst to best Binding of Isaac 4 Souls characters. So in coming in dead last for all of the 4 Souls character, in place 19 we have the Lost. The Lost ability is not that great. I don't think having 1 soul to start makes up for being able to only have 1 hit before you die. In 18th place, we have Samson. Samson, I'm happy you got reworked in the 2nd edition of the game because right now you are trash. In 17th place, we have Maggie. Maggie is bad. I was loving her a little bit. I'm sorry. I hope you get reworked as well in the 2nd edition of the game. In 16th place, we have Apollyon. Apollyon, I think I may underestimate you a little bit. I'm excited to hear what everyone's thoughts are on you, but right now I just don't think you're doing it for me. Next up in 15th place in the 4 Souls tier list, we have Eden. Eden, I think you can be bad. I think you can be really great, but there's only a few really great items in the game. That being said, there are so many bad or useless items in the game that I could be drawing for you, so sadly you're coming in at 15th right now. In number 14, we have Blue Baby. Blue Baby, you came from being 18th to now 14th, which is good for you, I guess. Evan, shout out to you for being able to play the hell out of this character. Next up, we have 13th place, Azazel. Azazel, I really like you, and I think that the more that I play this character and I play you, that I'll be liking you more and more, and the higher you'll be getting in this list. Coming in 12th place, we have Kain. Kain, I think you're one of the best characters of all time if you're playing in 2-player mode, but besides that, you're not too great. But again, I think endgame, when everyone has about 2 or 3 souls, you can easily be one of the best characters in the game, and then in early game, you're kind of fine. Coming in at number 11, we have name of the game, The Binding of Isaac's Isaac. Isaac the D6 is absolutely famous in everyone's eyes. I think that the item itself is fun. You're able to use it on other characters pretty well as well as yourself, and it's very useful. So you're coming in at 11. Coming in at number 10, we have Eve. She should be number 1. No, just kidding. Eve, I think you're trash. I mean, I still think you're so bad, but I just always win as you. I always win. The numbers don't lie. And so, period, you're at number 10 somehow. Coming in at number 9, we have the Keeper. Keeper, I haven't played as you that much, but from the gameplay that I've seen and other players that have played you, you are on a similar level as Guppy, but not quite there yet. Coming in at number 8, we have the Whore of Babylon. Whore of Babylon, such a fun, unique character. You have so much dynamic range you could be doing with this character. Not really much else to say. You're pretty great and fun to play as, so you're coming in at number 8. Number 7, I changed this up. We're still in A tier actually right now, and we have Judas. Judas, I removed you from S because I think a lot of people would get upset by that, but I do believe that you are easily one of the funnest and best characters in the game, and it is incredibly underrated. A lot of people look past Judas, but I think he's really good. I think he's really good. Now we get into our S tiers. Coming in at number 6, we have Lazarus. Lazarus, such a fun character to play as. You really never get upset when you die unless you have just all great items. I think if you get 2 trinkets in your hand to start an early game, you nearly have the win in the bag. Super fun character to play as. Period, and justice for all. Coming in at number 5, we have Lilith. I think your ability, just period, to look at other people's hand is incredible. I think that gives you A tier alone, but then being able to choose and pick loot card that you want from their hand and giving them a penny is just great. And then I don't really look at your other ability that much, but it's nothing to sneeze at as well. Coming in at number 4, we have the Bone Lord himself, the Forgotten. Everyone loves the Forgotten. He's easily one of the, again, most dynamic characters to play as. The ability to really only need to have 3 souls to win the game is absolutely amazing. I think a great way to play as him, and we'll get into this in other videos, is just to hoard your counters. And it's a very fun way to play the game, because in late game you're nearly unstoppable. Now we have the top three characters in the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. Coming in at number 3, we have Guppy. Guppy is such a fun character to play as. It's always great to have a transformation be a character. Infestation is absolutely great. It's so much fun to be able to have so many cards in your hand. You can make the case that if you have Dark Juice on the board, it's similar as the Keeper, where you're not a shoo-in for Gluttony. Shut up. Just let me have this. Moving on to number 2. Drumroll, please. We have Bumbo. I think a lot of people underrate Bumbo. Bumbo, I've won so many times as just hoard your money, you have the game. Hoard your, oh, what are you gonna do, butterbean me? Oh yeah, here's another 16 cents. Okay, yeah, good game. Coming in at number 1, you guys saw this coming, we have Dark Judas. I feel bad every time I win as Dark Judas because it's literally not fun for anyone else. You are so good, you need a nerf. I don't know if you're getting a nerf in 2nd edition, but period, you're easily the best character in the game. Being able to nearly, if the other characters you know I'm talking about aren't on the board, shoo in for Soul of Gluttony, shoo in for Soul of Greed. Super fun. But hope you get a nerf, but for now, you are the best character in the game. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry that this was a little long, but I'm excited to hear your comments and thoughts in the video's comments. And I'll be posting this on the subreddit as well to hear your thoughts and opinions. So let me know what else or what other type of Four Souls content you want to hear from me. I will be in the comments of this video debating my points, but I'll also be open to hearing everyone else's thoughts. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like on the video and share it. And I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.